Hello, YouTube. Are you ready for this story? Well, let's get right into it. So, this is a story that happened when I was back at college. I graduated college May 2018, but this happened when I was a freshman in college. So, everybody who's gone to college have heard crazy, good, bad roommate situations. So, I'm going to tell you about a roommate situation that one of my friends had. So, first off, when I lived in college, my freshman year of college, I was placed with a random roommate for the first month and a half, but then he switched out to someone else. But I had my friend move in. But next door was one of my friends. I'm going to protect his identity in this story, so I'll use a different name. Let's call him Brad. So Brad, he lived next door to me. And Brad had one roommate, and I'm going to protect that roommate's identity by changing his name as well. Let's call him Greg. So Brad and Greg, they did overall get along, but they had quite different lifestyles at the time. They were the same major, though, which was the same major as me, communication arts. But my friend Brad at the time didn't have many life experiences in regards to sexual or party experiences or whatever, versus our friend Greg had more experiences in that, and was like a stoner and whatever. So it was a really, really disgustingly messy room that they had. I'm a neat freak and I'm quite organized. So that's why whenever I've lived with anyone, it just happened to look a lot better than the average person's dorm. But with their dorm, there would be tons of clothes and random trash on the floor. You could still see the floor, but not much, and it was cluttered. It looked like a clean hoarder's house, which isn't that clean. So now let's get to the spicy, the dang content in this story. So there was a point in time where Brad apparently left his cock ring on Greg's bed. From what I heard from Brad, though, he doesn't remember ever doing that. But I heard this story from Greg, this official long story or whatever, and then I told Brad about it after the year ended, or no, a couple of years later, something like that. I'm not sure. Once they were not living together, because I thought it was just a better idea not to say it then, but at the same time, this is quite savage what happened. So what Greg did to get back at Brad regarding that cock ring being on his left on his bed was Greg put lube here and there in Brad's shampoo. So that is quite savage. I don't recommend doing that, but I thought it was quite the interesting story, unique, cringe. Me and a lot of friends are quite savage, so this comes as a surprise and not a surprise to me as well. So check out my other stories and you'll see why I feel that way. Because there are lots of crazy, weird stuff that I've encountered in my life and around my life. So, thank you for listening. Just be careful where you put your cock rings, and because some people may put lube in your shampoo. So, I guess that's the story. Thank you for listening.